conceptually understand the game of football and gives them the ability to change, adjust, and they don't have to take as many reps to make those adjustments. So with those two kids, that's the biggest thing that I look for when I meet with these players.
Man, has there been anything fun that's happened off the field? Maybe in some of those team meetings or just some of the sit-downs where you guys just had some food or something like that. Any fun moments that stick out this week there?
Well, in a defensive meeting, like I tried to talk to these guys about being thankful to the people who helped them along this journey. We had a young man stand up and he talked about his third grade teacher where he was struggling in math class, and this teacher took extra time with him before and after school to make sure that he was up to speed in math. And so for him to get up and say that she was the most influential person in his life up until this point, that's huge. And I want these guys not to forget who helped them along this journey. It's all, your name's going to get called in the draft, the camera's going to be on you, but who really helped you along this journey, and taking the time to shoot them a text, write them a letter, give them a call to say thank you.
Man,
what's the difference in between coaching college and coaching NFL to your eyes?
I think the big thing is it's still football, right? You play the same coverages, the field's the same length. But I think the biggest thing is that it's more about football. There's not a lot of the extracurricular stuff, and I think that's the one way that the college game's changing. Trust me, I'm all for the players getting paid, but I do think there has to be some constraints because it's a little bit out of control, and you're starting to lose sight of why kids are coming to school, which is to get a degree. And so I think when you do get to the NFL, it's about the business of football, and I think that's really the biggest difference.
And then is there something influential in your coaching career, or even just like a teacher that you had, or a high school coach or anything like that that's kind of shaped you?
I think all of my coaches throughout my time, from my high school coach, Hank Tierney, who really showed me that it was more than being a coach. And I think the biggest thing I try to tell all my players, no matter how long you were with me, I'll be the coach for the rest of your life. I'll always be your coach. And I think that's very important because I think when you're a coach, you don't only coach on the field, you coach these guys in the game of life. To be great husbands, to be great fathers, to be great friends. Because at the end of the day, football is only going to be a part of who they are.
Man, and now that you're already back in New Orleans, what's a good spot that you're like dying to go back and just have some food there again?
Well, Drago's is my spot because of the oysters, but I can't wait to get back home because it's crawfish season, and I hadn't been home in crawfish season in a long time, so I'm excited to go get some crawfish.
Yeah, and one last question, I guess, for me personally. You coached a lot of these UT recruits, from 2020 to 2024, and some of them were like thinking of leaving, but they came back. How good is it to just see those guys, just really decide that they still want to play for Texas and
like when you recruit a guy, you talk about, hey, I'm here to help make your dreams come true. And however long that journey might be at University of Texas, whether it's 3 or 4 years, I'm here to make your dreams come true and accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish. Some guys do them in 3, some guys it takes 4, some guys it takes 5. Everybody is different. But the good thing is those players have the pen to write the movie of that dream. And so like for Ethan Burke, it was 4 years. Right? For Jade, it was 4 years. For other guys, Manny Muhammad, it was 3. So each player is a unique situation, but I think what Coach Sark does there is he embraces all those different situations. Andrew Makuba was a transfer portal too. So everybody, it's a melting pot and you can make it happen.
Coach, I have a question for you. What does it say about LSU having so many representatives, players out here, coaching in New Orleans? What does it say about the talent in Louisiana?
Well, it's the boot. And, they have a lot of great players there, and I think the biggest thing about Louisiana players is they're hungry. A lot of those schools don't have the resources that a lot of other high schools have in different states. So those guys, when they do get to places like LSU, where they have the resources, they're going to continue to grow and get better, and you're going to see them reach another level because there's still so much room for growth based on how they were brought up. But they're coming in there and they're going to be tough, they're going to be hard-nosed, and they're going to be ready to play, and they're going to be athletic.
I don't know if you answered this already, but how much of an advantage is it for you to get some scouting in and kind of get a look at a lot of these, your hands on some of these players?
I think it's huge. Watching the tape is one thing and doing interviews is another, but the face-to-face interaction, is unbelievable because you can really see who a kid is for his things that he does well, but also you can figure out what he doesn't do well, right? And can we manage that in our organization? And then I'll get the notes and I'll go back and report to the upper management, and then we'll go from there. But I think it's a huge advantage, and I'm excited to be here.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
So how did you find out that you're going to be the one to be at this presser right here?
Just right after practice, came up and asked. Nothing too crazy.
Nice. And then the day that you had, the week that you're having right here, and you also played lacrosse in high school.
Yeah, lots of lacrosse.
Man, so how did some of those skills translate to the gridiron?
I would just say like the mental side of things, how you prepare for games, and then also like for me playing defensive end, footwork is pretty essential in lacrosse. I think it translates similar way.
And then some of these guys that you've gotten to meet throughout the week, is there anybody that you wish you could run it back with and maybe like, I wish I played with that guy? Or somebody that you're maybe like, it would be cool if we were teammates in the NFL?
Yeah, dude, a lot of this D-line, I'm doing, pre-draft training with a lot of them. This whole D-line on this West team is really cool, and we're out here balling, having a good time.
Last time you saw Cade was in the CFP in 2024. You sacked him, I believe.
I did.
Yes, and so you're seeing him again across the year. Have you had any words for him, like, hey man, you better watch out again?
Nah, dude, just all love, just saying congratulations. He just got engaged and all that, so just wishing him the best and hoping he plays well in this game, and excited to compete against him again.
And a few years ago, you were in Dallas, with Cade and with Bassett, Colton Bassett, winning state championships. How has it been, just kind of coming back to Dallas and just thinking about where you've come?
Yeah, it's been a long journey, man. Lots of hours of working hard. I enjoyed Dallas, really fun city, and I seem to have some success here. So.
And then, any moments off the field stick out to you as far as this weekend, like maybe the team dinners or just meeting with teams, anything like that?
Yeah, first of all, just socializing with all the guys, getting to know so many different people from so many different areas, and then I would say we've had some cool events with DeMarcus Ware, Brian Aracco. Michael Vick was pretty surreal. He's a legend. All those guys are legends. So it was just cool hearing from some really talented guys who did it for a long time.
Man, and then tomorrow, the Shrine Bowl, right? I mean, it's going to benefit the Shriners. Tomorrow there's going to be that event where you guys are going to be hanging out with all those kids. Are you looking forward to that event?
Yeah, dude, that's the whole point of the game, right? Is to help other people, benefit other people, as well as display and showcase our ability. And it's really a cool event to give back to the community and just families who need help.
How has it been catching up with Cade and also probably talking to Michael at some point, because he's also in the draft, about your time going to the NFL? What's that been like?
Yeah, man, just wishing everyone who I care about great success, and I know they're working. Growing up at Westlake, it's instilled in me to work hard, and I know those guys are working. I know they'll get the job done, and hopefully see them in the future.
I think that's it. You got anything else?
All right, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.